Hey there, Bee. I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be the wife of a CEO and not you. Got it? You think you're really good enough to marry Marcus? Well, you're dead wrong. I'm the only one who's good enough for him. And now that I've stolen him from you, I'll never worry about working another day in my life. Rachel, what on earth are you talking about? What is this about you stealing Marcus away from me? If this is your idea of a joke, I really don't find it funny at all, and I'd ask that you not send me this kind of stuff. Oh, it's not a joke at all, I'm afraid, but I still think it's hilarious. I'm being totally honest, however, when I say that I've stolen Marcus from you and made him mine. No, you're just a lonely girl that nobody wants, and I'm going to be the wife of a CEO. It's like a dream come true. You mean that you're really serious about all this? That's right. What can I say? I guess that Marcus just likes me more than he likes you. We spent the whole day and night together, you know. He told me that I was the girl of his dreams and that he always wanted to marry me. He told me that while he was looking into my eyes from across the table, he got us at the most expensive restaurant in town. Then he got down on one knee and proposed to me. Now that you mention it, I wasn't able to get in touch with Marcus at all yesterday. I was wondering what was going on. But you're telling me that I couldn't reach him because you two were together all day yesterday? How many times are you going to make me type out the same thing, Bee? Haven't I already made it clear to you that I've made Marcus all mine? You thought that you were going to marry him and become the wife of a CEO, but I stole him right from under you, and now I'm going to marry him instead. How does it feel to have your fiancé stolen from a fellow classmate, huh? But you don't understand. How could you do this to me, Rachel? I thought that you and I were friends. We've been so close ever since high school. I thought that I could trust you. But instead, you turned around and stole your own friend's fiancé? You're horrible, you know that? Well, this may come as news to you, but I never once considered us to be friends at all. I've actually hated you ever since the day that we met. But I could never understand how some poor ugly girl like you was chosen over me by all the boys in school. I swore to myself then that if you were ever going to get married before me, I would steal away your man before you could. You mean that this has been a plan of yours since you and I were in high school? That's crazy. You don't understand. I mean, you do know that the high school that we went to was famous for having the children of celebrities and actors and stuff go there, don't you? It wasn't a school for poor little kids like you. I don't even know how you got into the school in the first place. It was probably some charity for sad, poor people with no other means to get an education that paid for you to get in. Just because we went to the same school doesn't mean that you and I are on the same level at all. Got it? I hate when people forget their place and try to be in places where they don't belong. But I was never doing anything like that at all to begin with. And you have no idea how hard I was working in that school. I only got in because of my good grades, and I would have never been able to afford to go without the scholarship I got. But I always thought that you were the nicest person to me there. You were my best friend. And you hated me this whole time? But that's just it. You did work hard, and you were even valedictorian for our class. But before you showed up, I was the smartest kid in school. Both my parents were rich and loved me so much. All the teachers could trust me, and I was a favorite across the whole school. But all of that changed when you showed up. Just because you were the new girl who got slightly better grades than me, everyone started treating you like you were the star of the whole show. You totally eclipsed me. Well, are you really trying to blame me for how other people reacted towards me? I never asked them to treat me like that. I don't want to hear it from you. Don't tell me that a poor little nobody like you wasn't loving all of that attention. And all because you were good at studying. It isn't fair. You ruined high school for me. Do you know that? I certainly do now, and at least now I feel like I understand a bit more about why you always hated me like this. But I still don't understand why that drove you to steal my fiancé from me. I mean, we graduated from high school more than 10 years ago. Are you really still upset from then? Of course I am. You think that I ever got over a poor person like you trying to get above their post in life? And just what is that supposed to mean? I mean that no matter how hard you tried after high school, I know that you were never able to amount to anything. And no matter how smart you are now, you're still just a poor nobody. Just like your stupid, poor, ugly parents. You thought that marrying a CEO would be your ticket out of that life? Well, not if I had something to say about it. I wasn't about to let you jump ahead in life like that. It wouldn't have been fair. That's why I had to put you back in your place. And so that's the real reason why you stole Marcus from me? What are you, some kind of 1800 oil baron or something? I don't think I've ever seen classism this bold-faced in my entire life. Do you think we live in a caste system or something? What is the matter with you? It really is so easy to get poor people upset when you remind them of who they really are deep down. You really thought that you could just marry into the lap of luxury? Sorry, but that was never an option for a poor little nobody like you. It's obvious that I'm a much better person to marry Marcus, given my pedigree. Your pedigree? What do you think this is, a dog show or something? Say whatever you want. It doesn't change the fact that Marcus is all mine and there's nothing that you can do about it at all. You're just mad because I took away your own shot at not being poor. Hey, Marcus, are you there? Because you and I need to have a little chat. For starters, have you been seeing Rachel behind my back? I know that your parents said hi to her parents at our wedding, but I just had no idea that you would ever do something like this to me.
Wait, hold on a second. How did you find out about Rachel and I? Oh, man. I thought that we had done everything to make sure that nobody was ever going to figure out about the two of us.
If you really must know, it was Rachel herself that reached out just to brag to me about how you and her are seeing each other. She even told me about how you proposed to her in a restaurant. So I would just love to hear what you have to say about all of this and just what you have to say for yourself.
Oh, what? Are you kidding me? You mean that Rachel told you all about us? What was she thinking? How could she do that to me? Oh, man. That girl can be a real firecracker sometimes. But yeah, it's true. Everything that Rachel said to you, even the part about us getting married. But you couldn't really expect this to last too long between us, right? I mean, you know that basically my whole family was against the two of us getting married.
Wait, what? What is that supposed to mean? Do you really mean that? Your family never ever wanted you and I to get married?
Of course they were opposed to you and I getting married. Open your eyes! You really think that you were ever good enough to stay married to me? You were just a poor little nobody who I took pity on. But you know that there was no way I was going to let our families merge into one, right?
Are you kidding me? You did not seriously just say that. I can't believe you, Marcus.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say. It isn't like your mom or dad is a businessman or a politician or anyone, really. They're just middle-of-the-road regular worker drones. Nobody's, really. Besides, didn't your dad get sick and have to quit his job anyways? Isn't your mom having to cut back on her hours just to take care of him? And you're doing all the heavy lifting for your family, and you're not anyone either.
Don't you talk about my parents like that, Marcus, and just because my dad is sick doesn't mean that you can put him down for it. Besides, it's thanks to their hard work that I was able to afford to go to college. I owe so much to them, and nothing is ever going to take that away.
Don't get me wrong, I really do respect you as a person, Bea. You got into one of the top schools in the country, and I think that's really something. but we just come from two different worlds. Besides, my whole future depends on me taking over the family company, so I really can't go against what my family wants, or else I'm down for.
Well, then why were we even together in the first place? If this is really how you felt about things, we should have never been dating in the first place. I never asked you to go and cheat on my classmate.
You really are starting to get annoying. Do you know that? I'm telling you why I made my decision. You can like it or not, but don't go trying to make this personal or anything. It's just business.
Business? Are you seriously calling this business? You think that I'm going to buy that, you jerk?
Look, the thing is, I actually really like smart girls like you, okay? But there are things about you that I just can't stand by either. For one, you're a little too smart. Maybe even smarter than me, and that's a huge turnoff. I do like smart girls, but being with you made me realize it's better to be with an airhead like Rachel instead. It's just way easier to get her to do what I want than it was with you.
Please tell me that that is not how you actually feel about dating women. That is just disgusting. Rachel is like some kind of avatar of classism, and you're just a horrible sexist. Maybe you two do deserve each other.
It's not sexist, it's just knowing what my preferences are, okay? If you really want to know, the last straw for you was when I had to make that presentation for work. I was struggling with it for so long that I finally asked you to take a look, and you basically did it for me all in the span of 20 minutes. I felt completely humiliated. So between my parents not wanting me to marry you and you being too smart for your own good, this is what's for the best. Not to mention that, honestly, Rachel is way prettier than you are anyways, so I don't think you could really blame me for wanting to get with her.
So basically, I just have nothing to offer you at all, is what you're saying then.
I mean, in a word, yeah, pretty much. Who ever heard of a man marrying a woman smarter than them? You'd have to be a real moron to do that. Anyways, just accept that this has happened and move on with your life, okay?
Hey, B, I was just curious if you got the invitation to our wedding. I know that you know how much I hate you, but we still have to keep up appearances, you know. I invited everyone from high school, so I had to invite you too, or else people would start to ask questions. You know, you haven't said one word to hint at all that you're sorry for what you did to me. Not only that, but you have the gall to invite me to your wedding? Come on, don't be such a sourpuss. Consider this a way to put this all behind us, okay? I invited you to the wedding for your own sake. My own sake? Just how do you figure that? Oh, come on. Clearly you're still upset about the breakup, and you must still be getting over your feelings for Marcus. So you can come to the wedding, see Marcus and I kiss and get married, and then maybe that'll shock you out of this mood. Are you kidding me? Is that why you want me to show up to your wedding? Well, I also think that you'd really enjoy it. It's going to be a huge venue and cost a ton of money. There are going to be all kinds of industrialists and famous people, and I mean, well, you're so poor that this is probably going to be your one chance to see something like this. Although I understand that you might just grow to hate yourself surrounded by so much success, too. You have seriously got some nerve inviting me to your wedding just so that you can keep trying to rub your wealth in my face. Do you know that? Well, if it helps sweeten the deal, we're having the wedding catered by a Michelin-starred chef, and the decorations are going to be to die for. Not only that, but I'm having a really famous fashion designer come out of retirement just to put my wedding dress together. It sounds like it's going to be quite the event. Are you sure someone like me can go? Well, at first I was going to have something a little more low-key. But then I thought about it and realized that I'm about to marry a future CEO, and there's no point in being modest. So I decided it would be better to go all out instead. And Marcus's parents seemed to be happy with my place, so it's all good. Well, I'm really happy that you and his parents are getting along so well. I guess they must feel more at ease talking to you than they were talking to poor old me. Exactly. In fact, they like me so much that Marcus's dad agreed to pay for the whole thing. It's going to cost at least $1 million. You're going to spend $1 million on your wedding? That's insane. Are you sure that's really such a good idea? No duh, it's a good idea. It's a great idea, in fact. Why would you even ask something like that? Or is it just that your poor brain can't even calculate how someone could spend that much and still have more money? Yeah, it must be something like that, Rachel. Well, that's okay. I can't expect you to begin to even visualize what $1 million looks like. Yeah, I wonder if your father-in-law will be able to soon, given that he's been arrested. Sorry, what do you mean by that? Haven't you heard the news? You might want to look up his name on Google right now. He's been showing up in headlines ever since last night for what he did, so I might be a bit worried for what that would mean for your wedding. Wait, hold on. Marcus's dad has been arrested? Sounds like you have a lot to think about. Maybe I'll just leave you alone for now. But if you really want to know, I don't want to go to your wedding at all. But you did such a good job selling it to me that I think I'll show up anyways. Wait, no, hold on. You can't just drop a bombshell on me like that and then just try and walk away. What are you talking about with Marcus's dad? What happened? You have to tell me. I told you, you can just look it up online. There are plenty of stories about it online. Just look up his name and investment fraud. Wait, you mean that he's been arrested for fraud? He defrauded his own investors? Yeah, he took a bunch of people's money and wasted it on a scheme that he knew was going to fail. Then he tried to launder the money to other sources, and that's when he got caught. I guess someone must have leaked some evidence of what was going on. No, this can't be happening. I had no idea about any sort of scam. This can't be right. Well, you might want to go ahead and tell the news stations that they got it wrong because you never heard of any of this. Anyway, what was that chef going to cook for the wedding again? This isn't the time to be talking about that. Now, I don't even know if I'll have a wedding at this point. But I already sent out the invitations. I was so looking forward to it. This can't be happening to me. Well, I suppose you might just have to tell people that there's been a change of plans and cancel it for now. B, it's just awful. We had to cancel my wedding. Can you believe it? This wasn't supposed to happen. What is going on? So you did end up canceling it after all. Aw, darn. And I was just starting to get excited to go. But don't worry. I'm sure you'll be able to plan a new one when things settle down. Then you could have your fancy chef and decorations and everything. What are you talking about? There's no way that we're ever going to be able to have the wedding again because the engagement is off. We're not even married and we're already divorced. Wait, what? He's not going to marry you anymore? No, I broke up with him. I could never let my family be associated with his criminal father. Just think of the damage it would do to my family's reputation. I can't possibly let my good bloodline be tainted with his bile, so I told him to hit the road. But now Marcus is refusing to sign the paperwork so that we can call it all off. I see. Yeah, I guess I would be pretty mad too if someone just tried to run off like you're doing. But you need to help me. You have to convince Marcus to formally call off the engagement with me. Sorry, you want me to help you? Are you serious? That's right. He said that he's not going to let me get out of this so easily. And if he doesn't sign the paperwork, then we're not going to be able to officially call off our engagement. You have to think of something and help me out here. You can't be serious, right? You're really asking for my help? Please, maybe you can try and charm him back to liking you. You know all his weak spots and what he likes. I'm sure that if anyone could help me out here, it's you. Plus, you get your fiancé back. It's a win-win. I don't want anything to do with him or you or either of your families ever again. You'll just have to find someone else to do your dirty work for you, but not me. Why don't you go and ask one of your rich friends to do it for you, huh? You don't think I've already thought of that? I called them all and asked for their help, but no one said they would. Some of them had even changed their number, and I can't get a hold of them. Well, then it sounds to me like they just plain don't want to help you. But I have no problem getting a hold of anyone from our school days. Maybe they just saw the news about your father-in-law and didn't want to be associated with you. You're kidding me. You mean you think that all our old friends are just avoiding me? But they're not afraid to stay in contact with some poor little nobody like you. I guess maybe they just don't care as much about how much money I have. You're the only one who seems to treat anyone as poorly as you do just because of their status. Anyways, good luck with your marriage troubles.
Bea, are you there? Please, you have to help me. You have to save me from Rachel. She's crazy, and you're the only one that I can go for help.
What on earth are you talking about, Marcus? I know that your dad is in hot water, but it's times like these that should push you closer to your wife. Go to her for help, not me, okay?
But I don't want anything to do with that moron. She is seriously so dumb and is only interested in trying to run away from me. Even though I'm trying so hard to protect all the family has worked for, she can only think for herself.
There you go again, just calling her an idiot again, huh? But I thought you liked your girls dumb.
Yeah, but not this dumb. I had no idea you could even get this dumb. But I've had my hands so full trying to save the family's business that I barely have time to deal with her anymore. I don't know what's going to break first, my company or my mental state.
Yeah, I've been following the news. It seems like you and your family are going to be in quite a bit of trouble.
But that's why I need your help. But please, I know that you're smarter than me. Maybe if you took a look at some of the papers I have, you could figure out a way to save my company from all this. But please, I need you.
Yeah, that is going to be a no from me. You cheat on me, ruin our engagement, call me too smart, and say that I'm uglier than Rachel, and you think I want to help you? Don't even get me started on what you said about my family, too. This is not my problem, and I refuse to let you or Rachel suck me into this. After that, I heard on the news that Marcus's family company finally declared bankruptcy and that Marcus was attempting to build something from the ashes. But the attempt didn't go so well, and like before, it was swimming in debt before declaring bankruptcy again. Rachel ran to her parents to try and beg for help, but they had both thought that they'd finally gotten rid of her and told her that she was Marcus's problem now. With his dad in jail and 2 bankruptcies, Marcus and Rachel agreed to move in together until they could work something better out for the 2 of them. They still aren't married, but they realize that they both have no one to turn to except for each other.